Okay, tonight I'm going to read a little bit of probably one of the oldest books that I own. Not actually one of the oldest books, but one of the books I've had for the longest time. It's a book, and it's a filthy, disgusting, dirty, awful wreck of a book that any ordinary person would have thrown away. Um, but I can't. I've had it since I was 4, and this is probably the first time I've really looked at it in a good 35 years. But I was going through my bookshelf the other day and I realized that I had this and I was happy because I loved it. It's Fairy Tales by E. Cummings. My mom used to read to me. I don't remember any of the stories, so I just kind of blindly picked one and I'm going to read it now for my own enjoyment. Uh, and okay, here we go. Oh, first I'll show you the beautiful picture of the elephant on the first page of this story. It's a black and white, and uh, there are some color ones in there, and I colored all over them too. The Elephant and the Butterfly. Once upon a time there was an elephant who did nothing all day. He lived by himself in a little house away at the very top of a curling road. From the elephant's house this curling road went twisting away down and down until it found itself in a green valley where there was another little house in which a butterfly lived. One day the elephant was sitting in his little house and looking out of his window, doing nothing, and feeling very happy because that was what he liked most to do, when along this curling road he saw somebody coming up and up toward his little house, and he opened his eyes wide and felt very much surprised. "Whoever is that person who's coming along and along and coming up along and along the curling road toward my little house?" the elephant said to himself. And pretty soon he saw that it was a butterfly who was fluttering along the curling road ever so happily, and the elephant said, "My goodness, I wonder if he's coming to call on me." As the butterfly came nearer and nearer, the elephant felt more and more excited inside of himself. Up the steps of the little house came the butterfly, and he knocked very gently on the door with his wing. "Is anyone inside?" he asked. The elephant was ever so pleased, but he waited. Then the butterfly knocked again, with his wing a little louder, but still very gently, and said, "Does anyone live here, please?" Still the elephant never said anything, because he was too happy to speak. A third time the butterfly knocked, this time quite loudly, and I don't know what it says next because it looks like part of the page is missing. "Is anyone at home?" And this time the elephant said in a something or other voice, "I am." The butterfly peeped in at the door and said something something, probably, "Is it you that live in this little house?" And the elephant peeped out at him and answered, "I am the elephant who does nothing all day." "Oh," said the butterfly, "and may I come in?" "Please do," the elephant said with a smile, because he was very happy. So the butterfly just pushed the little door open with his wing and came in. And here I'll show you the pretty illustration that I drew red crayon all around. It was so gorgeous, a gorgeous watercolor. Uh, and I was wondering if it was actually E. Cummings who illustrated it. Let's see, let's look and see. Oh gosh, who would know? Everything's all torn up in front. Uh, yeah, I have no idea. I don't know. But oh, here's a princess with peace signs and little hearts on her dress. Yep. I noticed when I look in some of the books I had, I see these princesses with these giant. I've drawn these princesses with giant tears just jumping out of their eyes. And I always wondered if that means like I was having a traumatic childhood or what. Or maybe just my mom reading me too many Andersons and Grimm's fairy tales. Okay, so let's see. Okay. Where did we leave off? Oh, the butterfly pushed with his wing and came in. And then the very next sentence says, once upon a time there were 7 trees which lived beside the curling road. And when the butterfly pushed the door with his wing and came into the elephant's little house, one of the trees said to one of the trees, I think it's going to rain soon. The curling road will be all wet and will smell beautifully, said another tree to another tree. Then a different tree said to a different tree, how lucky for the butterfly that he's safely inside the elephant's little house, because he won't mind the rain. But the littlest tree said, I feel the rain already. And sure enough, while the butterfly and the elephant were talking in the elephant's little house away at the top of the curling road, the rain began falling gently everywhere. And the butterfly and the elephant looked out of the window together, and they felt ever so safe and glad, while the curling road became all wet and began to smell beautifully, just as the third tree had said. Pretty soon it stopped raining, and the elephant put his arm very gently around the little butterfly and said, do you love me a little? And the butterfly smiled and said, no, I love you very much. Then the elephant said, I am so happy, I think we ought to go for a walk together, you and I, for now the rain has stopped and the curling road smells beautifully. The butterfly said, yes, but where shall you and I go? Let's go away down and down the curling road where I've never been, the elephant said to the little butterfly. And the butterfly smiled and said, I'd love to go with you away and away down the curling road. Let's go out the little door of your house and down the steps together, shall we? Oh, and here's great. I loved this picture. I liked this story a lot. Look how beautiful that dancing elephant and the butterfly together. It's black and white, but it's just absolutely gorgeous. All right, so, and then on the next page, I did a little drawing. I had to outline the walkway there. So, it says, they came out together, and the elephant's arm was very gently around the butterfly. Then the littlest tree said to his 6 friends, I believe the butterfly loves the elephant as much as the elephant loves the butterfly, and that makes me very happy, for they'll love each other always. Down and down the curling road walked the elephant and the butterfly. The sun was shining beautifully after the rain. The curling road smelled beautifully of flowers. A bird began to sing in a bush, and all the clouds went away out of the sky, and it was spring everywhere. When they came to the butterfly's house, which was down in the green valley which had never been so green, the elephant said, Is this where you live? And the butterfly said, Yes, this is where I live. May I come into your house? Said the elephant. Yes, said the butterfly. So the elephant just pushed the door gently with his trunk, and they came into the butterfly's house. And then the elephant kissed the butterfly very gently, and the butterfly said, Why didn't you ever before come down into the valley where I live? And the elephant answered, Because I did nothing all day. And now that I know where you live, I'm coming down the curling road to see you every day, if I may, and may I come? Then the butterfly kissed the elephant and said, I love you, so please do. And every day after this the elephant would come down the curling road, which smelled so beautifully, past the 7 green trees and the birds singing in the bush, to visit his little friend the butterfly, and they loved each other always. Oh, that's a nice story. No wonder I like this book. All right, and now here is the last picture. Let's see, that must be the butterfly's house. And, uh, oops. Okay, oh, and there's the elephant. I had to draw the red road. There's a pink house way at the top of the mountain there. Mm, so, that's all. Okay. Oh, my old grungy book. Where's this? Let's see. See, it's falling apart completely. It's really dirty. Been through the mill, just like its owner. Alright, that's it.